to record. Yes, okay, great. I can record the meeting. Great. Okay. And let me share my screen. Can everyone see the purple screen in front of them?
Yes.
Yes.
Great, thank you. Fellow Toastmasters, thank you all so much for coming to listen to my fifth level pathways speech on lessons learned. This is again reiterating the recent goal that I accomplished with the help of Carrie, Luke, Maurice, and Majid on the topic of laptops and getting them for the club. I have some important lessons learned that I wanted to share with you all. Hopefully these skills will help you when you become leaders in your organizations or in your volunteer organizations, and you have an initiative that you want to pursue, and you want to assemble a team of folks with different perspectives and expertise that you can all harness together in order to accomplish a goal for the benefit of the group or the benefit of a community that you belong to. The first and most important lesson that I learned in this goal that I was pursuing with the help of everyone is, first and foremost, explain your member recruitment and why that is the case. Why did you select this person? Why are you reaching out to them? What skills and expertise do they bring to the table that you think is necessary for accomplishing that goal? This is a very important step that needs to be pursued, because if you don't explain why, to give you a further example, let's use this laptop goal of mine that I pursued. If I didn't explain to Majid or Maurice, listen, I know you guys have a great understanding of computers in many ways that I will never understand. I need your guys' help with selecting the best laptop for the best price that will accomplish and perform well with all the programs that we're going to be running on that laptop throughout a meeting. If I didn't explain that up front, then Maurice and Majid would be wondering, well, why do I need to be involved in this? Why is my presence necessary in accomplishing this goal? If they don't recognize what consequence they have in being involved, or they don't feel that their presence is necessary to accomplish this goal, then they're not going to be involved in future meetings to begin with. Luke's perspective was also very important, because if I just listened to Maurice and Majid's advice, we might have ended up selecting a laptop that would be so technical and so fantastic, but if Luke doesn't know how to run it, then it's just a $300 paperweight. So it's important that we select a laptop that can be easily used, that's easy to be used by everyone, and not necessarily by someone who's a computer engineer like Maurice or a telecoms engineer like Majid. And also, of course, you need to make sure you have your treasurer on board, because they're the ones who are in control of the club budget. That's why I needed Carrie to be involved with this process as well, because she has the credit card. She has access to the club funds, and we can select the best laptop for the best price. But if Carrie's not on the team and she doesn't have access to the bank information, then we've selected a laptop that, you know, would serve greatly, but it's not going to be within our hands. So that is a very important lesson that I learned that I wanted to share with you all about explaining why you recruited this person to the team. The next lesson that I learned from this goal in this laptop purchase is be effective and succinct with the email updates that you share. So unfortunately, we didn't have 100% meeting attendance for reasons, you know, outside of, you know, my teammates are also involved in other projects, and they have other responsibilities to take care of, like their families or their loved ones. So I had to use email updates on a regular basis to make sure everyone was up to speed. When you feel that your emails are getting very long-winded, as mine tend to do, I would suggest that you use italicized headings or bold-faced headings right before you go into further detail with an email paragraph. This isn't necessarily an email that I sent to our team, but when I was working in the chemistry lab over the summer and my faculty supervisor was not available, I would regularly give her updates in this manner. And rather than just give her a wall of text to read, I did my best to communicate succinctly what each paragraph was going to be about next. So that way, people who need to be up to speed on a particular meeting don't have to spend more than 5 minutes reading and digesting an email, and then spend another 10 minutes or so writing an email response. So explaining succinctly through email, I think, is another skill that everyone should be familiar with and not scared of using when you are a leader for a particular goal. And the final skill that I wanted to highlight was always express gratitude to your teammates. It's important to recognize the time sacrifice that they're making for this type of goal that you're pursuing. Usually it's in a voluntary capacity, but Luke has family members to take care of. Carrie, Maurice, and Majid all have family and loved ones that they need to take care of. And me asking them to take time out of their days to provide feedback on a laptop that they won't be able to use directly, but the club will be able to use, is a very big ask and request to make. So always make sure that every chance you get, thank someone for providing input on something. Thank someone for giving new perspectives on something that you didn't consider or that was a blind spot on your part. Because really, gratitude really explains that your perspective is important, and I'm glad you're a part of this team, and I'm thankful that you spoke up and recognized that this needed to be addressed as well. So those are the 3 main lessons that I learned from this project about explaining member recruitment, using email in a succinct and clear manner, and always expressing gratitude for the teammates who are involved in the project you're pursuing. Thank you all so much for your attention, and I will relinquish the lecture back to our Toastmaster for this evening.
All right, thank you, Diego. And if no one has a pocket speech for tonight, we're going to move into our table topics. And our table topics master for tonight will be Luke.
All right, good evening, everybody. And I have to say, before we start this, that we have a very honored guest and Toastmaster in the house that I saw just logged on, and that is Lawrence Crompton. I want to give Lawrence a hand. Well, Lawrence, since you are the table topic and pocket speech master, I would actually just like to start off with you tonight. And I guess my question to you, Lawrence, is we definitely miss you here in the club. It's great to see you. And how have you been? And what have you been up to?
Greetings, fellow Toastmasters and possible guests. Actually, I'm not really a guest because I'm still a member. I'm just kind of the wayward member. So you'll have to excuse me for not showing up very often. Tonight, I actually happen to have a good internet connection so I could connect up. So I've been traveling for a bit of time, as you may know. I spent 3 months in northern Florida in isolation during the beginning of the pandemic. And then since then, I've been traveling. I traveled through my sisters in Kentucky, and I'm currently in South Dakota. I was originally thinking to go to the Black Hills, but it looks like by the time I get there, it's going to be Bike Week at Sturgis. I think I'll pass. But yes, I'm going to be getting my permanent residency in South Dakota, hopefully tomorrow. And then I can use that for licensing my vehicle and getting registered to vote, because I no longer have anything that I can do with that. So I've also been asked to be a coach with another club. So I will probably be a dual member with clubs here before too long. So be that as it may, I'm glad that I have the opportunity to spend some time with you. And I didn't see the timer show me anything, so I'm going to guess that my time is up. I hope that y'all have a good evening, and I'm going to be here to hear what the rest of y'all say. Thank you.
All right. All right. Well, Lawrence, it's great to see you, and the club that's going to have you as a coach is definitely a lucky club. So, yeah, I'm glad you showed up tonight. Okay, so we only had one speaker tonight, so we do have a little extra time for some table topics, and then David's education overview of the Pathways program. So I will just go ahead and begin. Diego, are you still with us, or are you off? Okay, so I think Diego, he did send me a message earlier, says right after his speech he was going to have to leave. So my first question is going to go to Cheyenne. So Cheyenne, in the past you told me that you were involved with comedy and you used to do, some comedy out on the town. So I know with COVID and things being shut down and everything, that has obviously had an effect in the comedy world. Have you been able to find any alternatives or still do comedy kind of through Zoom or anything like that?
Okay. Before I start, I just want to say I'm the timer, but my notebook is acting as a green screen unless I move it just right. And also the green notebook just hides me. So we're struggling with the green and the red today. So I'll try to get those colors to you. But okay, let me start the time for myself real quick. Okay. Hello, Toastmasters, and our very honored guest this evening, but still a member. I have been asked if the COVID-19 has affected the extracurricular activities that I'm involved in, such as comedy and improv. And the answer is it has greatly affected it. For starters, you can do online, but there's nothing like having an interactive audience. There are some comedians, some comedy stores, comedy places that have figured out a way to set up multiple two-way TVs so you can get that audience reaction. But without that, it can be very difficult because a lot of comedy is playing off your audience and how they're responding to you. Some of the local places that host comedy nights are doing, you can tune into Zoom, mute your mic, and watch comedy. I have not personally participated in that because you're not getting feedback. You don't know when to stop, if you should keep a joke going. So for me personally, it is affected. I know some other people are still trying to go out of their way to participate in that, but I have not. My improv group, however, we are meeting on Zoom. There are some games you can play that don't require you to be in person. So we are doing what we can. And I think as to everything that we're dealing with, you have to do what you can. So, give yourself grace if it doesn't work out, but, as long as you try, then you did the best you can. And I think that's where we're all at right now. So thank you.
All right, thank you, Cheyenne. And yeah, it kind of seems like that everywhere. Everybody's just kind of making do with what they can and adapting to the circumstance. But I find it's neat that just like Toastmasters, they're still coming up with creative ways to continue, providing comedy and show and routines. So, okay, next question is for David. So, David, in the past, you've talked about meditation a lot, and I find it very interesting. And during times of stress and and looking to relax and everything, what besides meditation could you recommend to others to help them relax?
Thank you, Luke. That's an interesting question. Meditation is a great thing, but in my life, I actually find there are other things that are more effective for me to relax or to clear my mind. One of them is exercise, frankly, and a lot of people think that's a bad word. But for me, if I get on my bicycle and go for a long ride, really, it clears my mind, and it's a de-stressor for me. Afterwards, I feel better. Other things, really, just taking long walks can be something that helps a great deal. There's many different things I can do other than meditation to help me de-stress. And part of meditation, though, it's not just sitting down and formally meditating or, with your fingers like this. Meditating is something one can do throughout the day. It's being mindful. It's clearing my mind and not trying to worry about the future or regret things in the past. And that's something I can practice throughout the day, no matter what I'm doing. So there are many tools to help de-stress, and meditation is just one of them. But that's a great question. Thank you, Luke. And back to you, Mr. Table Topics Master.
All right, thanks, David. I think during the stressful times, we can all definitely learn to relax just a little bit more. No, it's definitely true on my end. Okay, so I keep having video trouble, guys. I keep losing everybody, but since I called in through my phone, I can still hear you guys with audio, so you'll have to forgive me if I keep cutting in and out. Next question is for Maurice. So, Maurice, in Toastmasters, you have been very successful. I remember coming to the club. Lawrence was my mentor, and ever since I've been in the club, both you and Lawrence have been there. You've been the area director, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and so what's your Toastmasters end goal? Since you've already been doing a lot, what's the end goal that you're looking for?
Thank you, Luke. Another step to my goal to becoming a distinguished Toastmaster is I have been offered an opportunity to also coach a club, and I'm waiting to hear back from one of the members who went back to his executive committee to see if they want to be coached or if they want to coach. So that's the next step, and that's the last leg to my journey to becoming a distinguished Toastmaster under the old system. Even though I have reached level 2 and I'm starting on level 3 on the Pathways program, I want to finish this last leg under the old system. Mr. Topic Master.
All right, thanks, Maurice. And I have no doubt that you'll reach your goals here soon. So, all right, let's see. We still have some time here. So next question is for Donovan. So Donovan, it's great to see you back at a meeting. And I've actually been hoping that you would return. And if you could just give us a quick update just on how you've been, what you've been up to. And do you plan to kind of hopefully start coming back to some of the meetings with us?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Puppet Master. I've been basically just doing online classes at Spring Hill College. I'm in my second semester of my summer semester. I've been working with the community that my dad is involved with, who is the director of the Walsh community. It's spelled capital L apostrophe capital A-R-C-H-E. Walsh is basically a community where people with and without physical and intellectual disabilities share life together. And it was first originally in France, and now it came down to places like Jacksonville to, wait, scratch that, I meant Jackson, Chicago, and Mobile as well. So basically, basically that really sums up what I'm doing. I'm also thinking deeply on different things because my mother isn't, here all the time because she's with her parents who are medically fragile, and she spends time with them in Lillian. Lillian is a little town in Alabama. Neil, I don't know if you like close to Gulf Shores or so like that. So it's been home for me, and it's what I've been doing. I just call her twice a day, morning and night, and I'm also having my coach to be with me to help me to go through those tough times as well. Thank you, Mr. Topic Master.
Thanks, Donovan. And believe it or not, I used to live in Alberta, Alabama, which is right next to Lillian. And so I go to the dollar store right there in Lillian all the time, and it's a small little country area out there. So yeah, I know exactly where that is. Well, we're glad to have you back. We hope you can continue to join us for meetings, and yeah, we hope to see you at the next one.
All right, thank you.
Okay, we still have a little bit of time. Let's see here. Peter, got a question for you. So I know we're probably all sick and tired of hearing about COVID, but coming from a physician's standpoint, like yourself, how has this changed your daily work and the protocols? Because I know in the Coast Guard, it's really changed a lot for us. So being on the medical field and the front lines and everything, how has everything changed for you? And do you see it getting back to normal anytime soon?
Thank you, Toastmaster. COVID-19 has changed practice of medicine in our lifetimes with unprecedented examples. Basically, screening is now common practice. So when you walk in the building, temperature's taken, questions are asked if you had a recent cough, fever, change in smell, and then you go into the building and you practice, and you have to wear PPE, such as a mask and face shield if you're inpatient. Typically in the past, they didn't really require a face mask. And actually, I think there is a cultural stigma in the US. If you wore a face mask, it really wasn't the normal type of procedure or policy. Whereas outside countries, in Asia, for example, when someone is sick, they would wear a mask, and that's normal behavior. I think from a medical perspective, COVID is a serious concern that's been politicized. I think they've seen improvement with mask wearing. It's been stated to be 50 to 80% reduction in spread. And I think initially people didn't understand that masks were not really to protect yourself, it was to protect other people in case you were an asymptomatic carrier. Do I think it's going to get better? I think it'll get better within time, within a couple of years, but whether we're out of a first wave or not doesn't feel like it. I think the US numbers are outrageous in terms of compared to the world, how our number of positive cases is accelerating exponentially. And this will probably cause states to isolate themselves from states that are growing cases, and that's already happening. For example, New York, Connecticut, New Jersey are causing anyone from an out-of-state area that's high risk, like Florida or Alabama, for example, to quarantine for 14 days as they come in that area. And that might just continue to happen. I think that's what will happen in the future. Back to you, Toastmaster.
All right, thanks, Peter. Yeah, I fully agree with the U.S. numbers are quite outrageous and just continuing to increase at record numbers. And I know the Coast Guard wide, we've taken quite a hit, especially in the South, at a lot of the units. So yeah, I hope everybody continues to stay safe and we'll get through this in the end. So we have time for one more question. So this one is going to go to Carrie. So Carrie, in the past, I believe you told me that you wanted to be a motivational speaker, or you want to be a professional speaker, or do some kind of job that really involves speaking, because you are good at it, you're natural, and you got great stage presence, great energy. So is that still a goal? And what kind of like job or motivational speaker would you be?
Thank you, Luke. First of all, please find you on the David's background because I sketched your face. Okay, and I hope you like it, and I hope your face is just like you. Second, okay, the speech. Yes, my dream job is to public speaker, especially public speaking coach, focus on the companies. And now I have already idea, and actually I already made a website to offer that. However, the coronavirus kind of hit it, and I have to change. I have to shift the direction to more Zoom, because even after the Corona time, I don't think people back to the pre-Corona time. A lot of companies move to the online or Zoom or remote work. So I have to gain another knowledge of how to make a presentation on Zoom or online. So I need to study right now, and whatever I learn, I post in the website, blog, to share the information or skill and knowledge. That's what I'm doing now. And then my dream job is public speaking coach. Of course, public speaker, but I'm more interested in coaching. That's why my international path, Toastmaster International path, is coaching. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Carrie. Well, I have no doubt that you'd be a great coach, and you're a great public speaker who's a natural up there currently. So, I hope doing the Zoom stuff like we're doing helps you, reach that goal. And with that, guys, we are done with table topics. We went over a little bit of time, but that's fine because we're not having a second evaluation. So I will turn it back over to our Toastmaster, Maurice.
All right, thank you, Luke. At this time, we'll move into the evaluation period of the meeting, and our general evaluator for tonight is Carrie.
Hello, everyone again. My name is Carrie. I am your general evaluator tonight. I'm going to make a overall evaluation at the end of this portion. So let's start with the prepared speech evaluation. I believe Kyler, right?
Hey,
Am I
thank
right?
you. Yeah, that's
Okay,
right.
Kyler. Okay,
Right.
Kyler will evaluate Diego's speech. Thank you.
Awesome. I want to start off by saying I love the background that you drew that David has. That's awesome. It's a really good likeness of everybody. I like that a lot. Let's see. So to start with Diego's evaluation, I didn't quite catch the speech title, but essentially he was talking about the lessons learned from proposing the idea for a club computer to the team. And Diego did a great job, especially considering the fact that a lot of the issues that you run into with Zoom meetings, he seemed to navigate those really well. one of the first things I thought when he was showing us the slides, I was thinking, well, this is going to be tough to evaluate because when you're looking at slides, the way Zoom is set up, you can kind of only show your screen or you can show yourself. You can't really do both. But Diego did a great job of when he added something important to say, he would switch over to his face so that you could see him. And then when he had something that was important to do with the slides, he would switch over to the slides. So he really excelled at that. The other thing I thought that was really cool that he did is he managed to, one thing that a lot of people forget, I'm guilty of this too, is when you're videoing yourself or you're talking to a computer, you sort of have to look at the camera, even though it may feel kind of unnatural on your end. It feels more natural on the other person's end. It feels more like they're looking at you. So him, having the insight to look directly in the camera, to me, that was worth, a higher eye contact point. So I actually gave him a 4 for that because it was like you could see that I felt like he was making eye contact with me. So the only thing that I would ask Diego to work on would be his vocal variety. I deal with the same thing. It's kind of like a personality thing. If you have kind of like a real even keel personality like Diego has, it's easy to not pay attention to your vocal variety when in reality that vocal variety is what keeps people locked in and paying attention. He has improved with his vocal variety greatly. That is just something that he can still continue to improve on. Just same thing goes with myself. So the only thing I would give Diego to challenge himself on is to work on that vocal variety. And when I went through the evaluation, Diego pointed out to me a long time ago that you don't want to just give a 5 unless someone has done something really amazing. And for the topic section, I actually did give Diego a 5 because the topic was based on a leadership experience that he's had. And it was a really cool experience, and it was just neat to hear him talk about that since he's been a great leader to this Toastmasters Club for so long. With that concludes my evaluation, and I will give the lectern back to Carrie.
Thank you, Kyler. I like Kyler's evaluation because whatever good part were not criticized, but someone need to work on that part, he always happy to say that. So it's easy for everyone to accept it because more sounds positive. I do like it. Thank you. Okay, next. We don't have a second evaluator, second speech. So let's move on to the counter. Peter.
Thank you, Carrie. So tonight, the counter, Carrie, I had just 1 ah. Donovan, I had 8 ahs. Luke, I had 1 so, 1 2 you knows, and 3 ahs. Diego, I had no ahs. Lawrence, 2 ahs. Cheyenne, 2 ahs. David, I didn't get any, and I think I definitely said ah once. And that's it for the counter. I can repeat that if you missed your name. And back to you, Carrie.
Thank you, Peter. Next, grammarian, Donovan. Welcome back, Donovan.
Thank you, Kaori. I am not noticed anyone who said the word of the day, which is gravid, which means pregnant, impregnated. Carry eggs or full meaning. So I have not done anything for Diego, Lawrence, Cheyenne, David, Maurice, Peter, Kaori, and Kyler as well. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you, Donovan. We really missed you. Again, welcome back. Next timer, Cheyenne.
Hello, everyone. Sorry again about my technical difficulties with the screen earlier. See, there we go. Anyways, all right. So our speech from Diego was 6 minutes and 40 seconds. Lawrence, I don't know if it was a table topic or just a greeting, but 2 minutes on the dot. So good, your instinct is still there. So mine was 1 minute and 45 seconds. David, yours was 1 minute and 30 seconds. Maurice, yours was 55 seconds. Donovan, yours was 2 minutes and 17 seconds. Peter, you had 2 minutes and 26 seconds. And Carrie, yours was 1 minute and 28 seconds. And Kyler's evaluation was 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Thank you.
Thank you, Cheyenne. We finished. So it's time to make a general evaluation, overall evaluation. First of all, as I said earlier, did you find yourself on the Davis ground? I hope. And I hope you like it. I did. I think I did very well. Second, I would like to say welcome back to Hilltopper and give a Zoom hug to Lawrence and Donovan. We all missed you. Third, the general evaluation. We started the meeting fairly on time, so which is good. And we didn't have a second prepared speaker, so we had more time for table topic. This was good actually because many of us had a chance to practice a short speech. Also, it's nice to see the backgrounds, and I'm sure we all have fun for this contest. I like the idea. Thank you, Luke. And the last, Diego will be gone. I'm a little emotional now because he worked so hard for us as the president last year. I'll miss him so much. And this is my evaluation / sharing my emotion now. Thank you so much. And now back to Toastmaster Morris.
All right, thank you, Carrie. And I find something else ironic about Diego, possibly his last Toastmasters meeting. I'm looking at his name, Diego, and since he's getting ready to leave, I see two words in his name: die and go. So that's just a little irony that I saw.
I haven't heard that remark in many years. I feel no one has brought that up in more than 10 years.
Yeah.
Also, well, wait. Well, it's not my time to speak, but I'm happy to speak after club business. But I do have some comments to share.
Okay, thank you. We will move on to our educational overview. I believe that is David. Can you unmute yourself, please?
Right, unmuted. Hi, everyone. It's good to be here this evening. It's nice to see everyone, especially Donovan and Lawrence. Haven't seen y'all in a while. Tonight, I want to talk about the Toastmasters Pathway Program. When we signed up as a member of Toastmasters, we picked a pathway, and the pathway is, I'm going to talk a little bit about that tonight. But also, I'd like to thank our past officers, especially Maurice and Diego, for actively and successfully helping the club. They've both been very responsive and helpful to me personally. And I'd like you to note that Maurice and Diego are both actively working on and proceeding through their pathways. And that's one of the reasons they're such active speakers, because the pathways gives us goals. It gives us something to shoot for. And when we have a goal, then we're more likely to be motivated to continue. As your Vice President of Education, one of my tasks or responsibilities is listed as manage member progress in pathways and act as the primary base camp manager. So as part of those duties, I have accessed and reviewed all of the members' pathways. I have access to that as vice president. And I'm finding that a lot of our members are not really progressing with their pathways. Even the ones that are actively giving formal speeches aren't necessarily going back and finishing the modules. After you complete a module, there's an after assessment you have to do before it's registered as completed. Another task of mine is to encourage member engagement in the Pathways learning experience. So I'm not going to badger you. It's up to you to decide your level of involvement, but I am going to share with you my personal experience and my thoughts on Pathways. First, the cons. It does take time. We all have a lot of things going on in our lives today, and Pathways is just one more thing we have to do. And also the format can be a little awkward. Sometimes the Toastmasters website is a little bit sluggish. There's a lot of different things to click on. And third, a lot of the things in Pathways that I'm reading, I already know. I'm 56 years old. I'm a college graduate, and I've worked my entire life as a professional civil engineer. I've done a lot of public speaking. So there are things in there. It's like, yeah, I know that. Now, the pros of the Pathway learning experience. I am learning new things, but more than that, it's tying everything together. There's been a lot of aha moments where things that I didn't understand why I didn't communicate in a certain style, I understand now. And I understand the importance of, depending on the situation, there's other styles of communication I should adopt, other styles of leadership. And Pathways has really gone a long way to helping me understand that. It's a therapy of sorts. It's like I'm kind of seeing myself more thoroughly than I have before. Another thing is we all need resumes. And being an active member of a Toastmasters Club is a great thing. I think it looks great on a resume. But an even greater thing would be to be a member of Toastmasters and have completed a Toastmasters pathway. That on a resume I think would be enormous. To complete a major course in Toastmasters that can take typically 2 years to do. But I think you could do it more quickly in a smaller group such as this, since we have more opportunities to speak. I look at it, Toastmasters without using the Pathways program is kind of like going to college and taking courses but not having a major. I'm still going to learn a lot. It's going to be beneficial and I'm going to grow, but I need that goal. I need that goal to shoot for. I love the name Pathways because we all need a path, and Pathways takes me on a journey and it gives me that end goal. As Nike says, just do it. Not for me, not for Toastmasters, but for you. It's worth it. Now, Toastmasters has many pathway tutorials on their website if you have trouble with any parts of it. Plus, you're welcome to contact me, or I'm sure Maurice and Diego, with whatever involvement he may still have with the club, would be happy to help answer any questions as well. And we can do future educational overviews on more of the specifics of the pathway program. But it is something that it really surprised me. When I first started it, I was like, I don't know, I've got enough stuff to do. But as I went through the modules, there has been some wisdom imparted on me, because there's a wealth of knowledge in Toastmasters. These are masters at this. That's probably where the name comes from, Toastmasters. But it's really a worthwhile thing to pursue, and I just like to encourage everyone to do it. And that's my educational overview. Thank you.
All right, thank you, David. And I will relinquish the lectern back to the president.
All right, thank you so much, David. I really appreciate that. I'm trying to change my screen back so you guys can see my face. No, I'm definitely one of the ones who have been delinquent in the Pathways program. So I really did get a lot from your educational overview and was telling you how much I was looking forward to it. So I know next week, I think you signed up for a speech. Is that right, David? Okay. And what I'll do is I'm going to sign up for the next speech in my Pathways program so I can go ahead and get a jump start on this too. So anyway, thank you very much. And I really appreciate the overview. So Diego, before I present the award, I would like to give you the floor and let you address the club.
Oh, I apologize, Luke. I was, as you know, away from the keyboard. You had a level 5 Pathways award to give me. Am I understanding you correctly? No?
No. I have an award to present to David, but before we were doing that, I was going to give you the opportunity to speak since this was your last meeting.
Oh, well, I just realized this isn't my last meeting because I need to come back next week for me to receive the level 5 Pathways award. So I can say we can focus on other people's achievements tonight.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Diego.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so without further ado, we will go into a great part of the evening. So this is going to be presenting an award to David Roberts for achieving level 3 of dynamic leadership. And I don't think y'all can see that, but let's give him a round of applause.
Speech.
Sure. Well, first, I'd like to thank everyone for welcoming me so much. I've only been in Toastmasters since this past fall, but everyone has been very welcoming, and that's why I stayed. I feel like I've really learned a great deal. And as I said in the educational overview, I'm finding Pathways is a way to keep me on focused and keep me on track and progressing. And it gets me into things that I don't always want to get into when I go through the modules, but I'm finding that they really are worthwhile. And I sound like a Pathways spokesperson now. Maybe I should look for a career in that. But it really has been a great, wonderful experience. And I hope to continue. And I want to complete this pathway. Thank you, Luke.
Thanks, David, and congrats on your award. And I know that level 4 and level 5 aren't far behind. So, okay. So last in our meeting tonight, before we close it out, I thought it'd be fun to do the Zoom background and kind of have like a little competition. So I think without voting on a clear winner, my vote is for Carrie. And the fact that she went through and sketched everybody, and I know it's me because I can tell by my bald head pretty clearly on there. So yeah, if everybody just wanted to give a thumbs up for Carrie being the winner, we will go ahead. All right, congratulations, Carrie.
Thank you.
And if we can take one more quick second and everybody just quickly type in the chat to everybody a runner-up. I'm also going to send one of the Chick-fil-A gift cards to the runner-up as well. So I'm going to just type a name in really fast.
Luke's vote counts as one person, right?
What's that?
Luke's vote counts as one person, right? Or does it count as 11?
Yeah, I just kind of, because I'm going to send it to both Cheyenne and Kyler. So let's see. So we had 2 Peters and we have 2 Cheyenne and Kylers. So I will be sending, since we have a tie, I'm going to be sending both of you guys a $10 Chick-fil-A gift certificate. So I hope everybody enjoys it. And yeah, so I really
Luke,
appreciate everybody participating. Yeah.
What if you have them do a prepared speech and we select the winner based on that?
I like that idea. You have 30 seconds to sell us why you should be the champion. We'll start with Cheyenne.
Hello, everyone. This is a speech to tell you why we deserve the Chick-fil-A gift card. Well, things have been rough around here. Kyler's been having to stay home and homeschool the cats. Doesn't look like they're going back to school in the fall. I'm still going to work every day, and I have to come home and make dinner for all these hooligans in this home.
The social damage that's being done to the cats is horrendous.
Yeah.
They won't look me in the eye anymore.
We can't find Germex. We can't find Lysol wipes. You know, it's just horrible.
I am selling virtual spaces, though. If you'd like to purchase a virtual space, it's $10. It's exactly $10, and I can send it to you through email. You can be virtually anywhere in the entire world. Look how realistic this is.
You guys didn't know we weren't at Carpe Diem.
Yeah. You know, the world is mental now. It's no longer physical. So get on top of that.
But it still runs off of Chick-fil-A chicken nuggets. Thank you, guys.
Very good, guys. All right, Peter, 30 seconds to sell us on why you should be the champion runner-up.
So to add on to this virtual world in the Matrix, instead of reminding us that we're trapped in a closed building, let's think about the outdoors and the natural beauty. And for some of you, this may not be known, but this is natural beauty. This is the Northern Lights. And let it be inspiration that we need to preserve nature and be less polluting, and also know that we can enjoy this without being socially crammed like sardines. And from a functional standpoint, it's dynamic, so you keep seeing this moving lights while people are listening, and it keeps you more attentive.
All right, thank you, Peter. All right, guys, let's quickly, everybody type Peter or Cheyenne and Kyler in the chat really fast. It
If I'm
literally
allowed
looks
to,
like we have.
I like Peter's background.
Look. Okay, so we got 3 Peters. We got 3 Peters and 2 Cheyenne. So it looks like Peter, you're our runner-up tonight, and I'll be sending you.
Cheyenne, so it's a split.
There's a Kyler in there too by Carrie. We got another tiebreaker.
Wow. Clearly the level of speechcraft in this room is quite similar.
Well, I'm gonna say I think that Peter should have it because he is actually doing really great things and helping everybody else. And also that Chick-fil-A line, I'd never wait in line for Chick-fil-A. So yeah. You're actually losing because you're gonna have to wait in line to spin that gift card. So, have you seen that Chick-fil-A line? It is always long.
Yeah, it's always long. Yeah,
Peter as well.